OMG, hi. Danny? Oh, I was about to say, come on. You're muted.
Sorry. I had to tweet because I couldn't disappoint the matches. My sincerest apologies, everybody, for this being later than usual. I don't know how to work this thing. Lyric does, and so Lyric was in person for Dynamite tonight, and as a consequence, that leaves me fucked, Your Honor. Um, guys, well, Lyric, you were just at Dynamite. Any thoughts?
I think the women's match should have main evented, but
Well, yes.
I think the men's match was pretty good towards the end. I just, if they were going to save Mox like getting like executed for later, then I mean, I think the women could have main evented. Truly, that's the only reason I was like, oh, I was like, they're gonna kill him tonight, but you know, he just tapped. I mean, they're definitely gonna kill him soon, you know. But I don't have a ticket for when they gonna kill him next.
I
So
don't have the ticket to the public
you
execution.
know, many are saying this.
Let me yeah, guys. Lyric is she's in the car, so don't expect too much from her commentary wise because she might be limited. So that means you're stuck with my annoying shrill voice.
Many are saying
Um,
this.
okay, many are calling me annoying and shrill. Well, yes, they are, but I don't care. Guys, first off, today is historic. The first ever women's blood and guts.
Yes, it was.
Um, it was great. I think you really felt the energy of like all of the women in the match really appreciating that this was the first and not wanting it to be the last. Like it was very clear that everybody here wanted to make this really good. Um and I think they did a great job. I thought that match was incredibly entertaining start to finish. It also like felt great to me as like someone who's been watching AEW for so long to see like the depth of the women's division. One, to be able to even do something like this, but two, to be able to do it with meaningful storylines and with blood that felt like it was there for a reason rather than just
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you do blood and guts and it's just because it's the time of year to do blood and guts. It's not because there's a blood feud that needs to be solved. And I do feel like the women's division, that was the concern kind of going into it a little bit when they announced blood and guts so early for the women compared to for the men, was like
Mm-hmm.
what is it actually going to look like, or is there a reason we're doing this besides the fact that we should do a blood and guts? I felt like the storytelling in this match was impeccable. I thought Mercedes was fantastic. Did she run the blade? Nope. Were we expecting her to? Nope. But I thought she played her well. She played her role perfectly. I thought Stat looked like an absolute beast. She
She was
tonight,
fantastic.
like, yes, obviously we've been singing Stat's praises because we love her and she deserves to be world champion. Tonight, she looked like the champion of the fucking world. She looked like the baddest bitch
Correct.
you could put on the flow. Um, and so it was just a good, I don't want to say like a good reminder, I guess, of just how bad that girl is. um Sky Blue, a true freak, but we knew this. But we knew
Bro,
this.
Sky Blue is a sick fuck. Like, what the fuck? Like, it was, we were 5 minutes into the show. She already had like a crimson
Gushing.
mask. I said, what did you do?
Gushing.
Like, how did you do that?
That
Nah,
girl
she's
bleeds
a
for
real
fun.
freak. Nah,
She
she
is a
said, nah,
real
put me
freak.
in first. She said, put me in first. I got something to say. I got
But you know
something to
what?
say.
It also like even that choice for Sky Blue to come in first and Willow to come in first, two people that we see in street fights and we see them go absolutely all in. Like so you kind of were setting the tone of like, yes, these are people that you see regularly wrestle on TV, but like this one is going to be different. So I thought even that choice, I thought it was great. I think, yeah, I think the standouts to me, like I said, Stat, Mercedes, and um, Tony. But I mean, what else is new? Um, I think, yeah, I loved this match, and I was really nervous about it because whenever you're doing something for the first time, like, lots of things can go wrong. It cannot live up to expectations. It can this, that, or a third. And you're already fighting an uphill battle with something like Women's Blood and Guts, just like narrative wise. I thought that they controlled the narrative so well. Um, CYN. Um, I really loved this match, and there are very few times that I was just like, "Yep, I absolutely think it should have main evented." I think even if Mox was going to be publicly executed, it should have main evented. I think
I agree.
that I think that one, it's historic. Two, and I think honestly, AEW right now, and just like generally, since you have historically not paid enough attention to your women's division, if you're gonna do two things that are equal, give preference to the women's division, because for so long you've done the opposite. You know, um, even the scales a little bit. So if you're gonna have two blood and guts matches, what makes the men's different from the women's? Nothing. So let the women main event. Like, hello. Um,
I honestly
mm,
think that the women's blood and guts match had, and it showed truly before Mox came in the match. Like there's no stories. Everything is built around Mox. So like before he got in there, like people weren't really fucking with it. Versus the women's match, I mean,
everybody
and
has something to
it
do.
can't be derogatory. There's like a million different storylines interwoven through that match. So like it was always entertaining, Like, and I think that was the
Yes.
difference, the major difference maker. Um, like you said, everybody looked great. Like Megan Bain looked like a god.
Yes. Yes, she
Um,
looked great.
Everybody looks absolutely, even like like the people who aren't the best wrestlers per se, like they found something for them to do.
Found
Harley
something
looked
to do.
cool, Julia
Yeah.
looked cool. Like they made
Yeah.
everybody. Stecca looked
Everybody
like
played a
oh,
role in this.
Willow and Stat teasing, like almost hugging. The crowd was going crazy for it. Tony and Mina, like the real MVPs. Like it was so good. And
It was
I
so
and
good.
it's not even like me blowing smoke up their ass and like nah, Dave, you gotta run them that 5 or else like we got like come on, like
No, that one was great.
that's a real 5,
And that
like
was a
that's a
real
real
5.
5-star
But
match.
also, we gotta stop letting white men dictate what's a 5. Who gives a fuck what Dave thinks? I don't
I
know
mean,
that
well, no,
nigga.
I mean it's a 5 in our heart, but it goes back to like at the end of the day, kayfabe accomplishments do matter. Like like it shouldn't matter to fans, but like. And at the end of the day, it does matter. We can't see him saying it don't. And it reminds me of something that I said on Twitter, like in relation, obviously, PWI came out this week. I really don't want to talk too much about PWI. If I never hear the words PWI again for the rest of the week, I think I'd be pretty good.
Lyric, you want to talk about PWI?
All love to the company and everything. I think it's just y'all stressed me out this week with this discourse. But
First
something
Dynamite. Sorry, go ahead.
something that happened was, that I feel like AEW put together a rock solid campaign for Mercedes and Tony this year to be like the greatest women like in the world today. I mean, as they deserve. But so many people suffered because of it. And PWI obviously isn't like the greatest big tournament, but like look how far Willow fell in the rankings this year. Just because she didn't have a lot of kayfabe accomplishments in comparison, to other people. This is somebody who used to be top 10 on the list, now in the 30s. And obviously she's well liked by the community, but it just wasn't anything there. And it's just like several people were kind of put in that situation. And when you look at the talent that was in that ring tonight, like really like that talent, that can't happen again. And this is not saying like take anything away from Mercedes and Tony. They're the GOATs, but it has to be an and, not an or.
Yeah, and
Like
I think that we have been talking and blah on this show about the women's division sometimes feels like a lot of stop and start, in terms of booking, and sometimes we've got things going on just for the sake of them going on. And I think Willow is somebody that we've talked ad nauseum about on this show, so I won't belabor it too much. But it's like she was being relied on in so many different ways that she actually wasn't able to shine herself.
Correct.
And I think a match like this kind of helps to reset. I think everybody looked good. I really was proud of this one and genuinely seeing like just how far the women's division has progressed. For this to happen, for it to be meaningful, for it to make sense, for us to not have any, like, there were no flops in this match. Were there people who were helped, or people who didn't look as great as others? Yes. Did we have anybody that stuck out as very bad in this match? No. And had we done this in 2 years ago, that would not have been the case. We just did not have the depth. So I was very proud of this just as a fan, and I hope that this is kind of taken as a sign to do more things like this in the future. Queen Aminata, we gonna get you in there, girl. We gonna
Correct.
get you in
And
there,
it really
girl.
actually hurt me to see her and Penelope on the sidelines, like just because
That should be me.
they really put in so much work. But I mean, especially Penelope Ford, who was in the first ever, hardcore match that AEW ever had. And in a lot of those early hardcore matches, like, we don't get to a women's blood and guts without her and the bunny. That's just the truth.
It's true. But yeah. Oh wait, I forgot. Somebody said this is their first Dynamite Diaries. Welcome to the Dynamite Diaries.
I'm sorry.
That's Lyric. I'm Danny. Usually we don't talk directly about Dynamite. I'm trying to think if I have any fun anecdotes that I could share or fun questions.
Y'all, I gotta show you what Danny sent me, like literally earlier this week, and it's actually I'm really thankful for it because it was really nice. I was going through a lot, but she's a very unserious person.
I don't even remember.
Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on.
I have no memory of that. I'm starting to realize, like, I have the memory of like half of stories. Like, I don't know what's going on ever. It's a little bit concerning. We didn't have a theme for this episode. Oh, this theme can be blood and guts. Lyric, what's the goriest injury you've ever?
Look at this.
I didn't realize we could share screens.
Look at this. Wow. I will keep those very near and dear to my heart.
Well, you know what? Do you guys want to hear that impersonation? Because
Please,
I can do
yeah.
right.
I think that would be fun.
Okay, wait. I forgot what it was. It was
Stitch doing a Will Ospreay impersonation.
Oh, it was Stitch cutting a promo on Will Ospreay. Okay. Okay. Well, this is not funny, okay? You used to be, and this is thoroughly a sound letter. And that's gonna thoroughly, oh, how that be thoroughly, and thoroughly, nobody can be behind it, but that didn't realize it.
I'm crying.
What else can we do? Yeah.
Also, you know what I want to talk about? So Hangman went on a press tour this week in Greensboro telling people that like AEW is family friendly or whatever and to bring their kids to Blood and Guts. And they actually fucking did. There are so many kids. There were so many families watching the craziest shit. And you wanna know what really ticked me off? It actually didn't tick me off, but I thought it was crazy. The parents would put headphones on their kids to protect their ears while they're watching people literally get flayed open. They said, fuck your eyes, but we got to protect those ears.
You know what? I will say, if I were Hangman, like, two things, right? Think about the children. One, I think it's hilarious of Hangman to say that, particularly about Blood and Guts. Like, of all shows to be like, bring your kids. This is objectively the funniest person to say this. Yeah, again, a school night, correct. And so, first of all, setting aside, that's very funny. Second of all, right, here's my thing. When I was younger, I was watching like straight up like real footage of people getting bit by sharks on
Oh,
YouTube. I was watching like some real drama shit, some real gory footage. Whatever. The world's big. Did they make you watch those videos of 9/11 when you were a kid?
no, I was a kid when 9/11 happened.
Oh, well, I wasn't born when 9/11 happened. So when we were in, why are you laughing? It's true. I was not born when 9/11 happened. So when we were in, guys, tell me if I'm crazy. If anyone else is like around my age, let me know if your schools also did this. How did we get on this? But when we were in like second and third grade, they would show us the footage of like the planes hitting the towers, and you would watch like everything that the people watched, like the
That's so
news
fun.
coverage, like
That's
literally
so
in like
fun.
second and third grade, so you would understand the gravity of what actually happened that day. And you're like, hey, yo. But also, there's this like real cognitive dissonance because in my head, right, that was history. That happened before I was alive. So I have a hard time processing. I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, do these things not happen? And then people are like, no, 9/11 was different. And I was like, okay, but how is it different? And so I could just never conceptualize because I mean, I simply was not alive. But no, they used to make us watch the footage every year on 9/11. We'd watch the actual footage and then we'd watch a documentary. Did anyone else do this?
Nah, Jalen saying Tim and Moby got me crying. Like, not the brain pop video. My history is your brain pop. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, well, what else was I gonna say?
Sorry, I didn't. You know that clip of Mariah Carey, and she's like, "Well, if you don't want to talk about 9/11,
You
yes,
know what?
I have the image of them people falling burned in my head. Yes, they made us watch it in multiple grades. Thank you.
I also quickly really want to talk about Kazuchika Okada.
Cash Money Kazu.
He is nobody's friend. He's been showing up on BTE, bullying the Bucks. He bullied Tanahashi. He's been bullying everybody. And I ain't gonna lie, after I saw the way them tickets moved in the Tokyo Dome, unfortunately, Takeshita, you got to give him your baddie chain. They
You
talking
simply
about
have to wait.
They said they might have 56,000 in the dome by Showtime because off the strength of that Okada announcement. I said, "Oh my god,
You better run him the money.
that's real motion." Like,
Look,
fuck
you know what? I tweeted it, but hey, y'all can say whatever you want about Cash Money Kazu. You can say whatever you want about all of these other wrestlers. Whatever. There is no aura like when that coin drops anywhere in Japan. None. Absolutely none. You see the way everybody stood up out of their seat, cranking their neck like, no way,
right.
he's actually here. He's here.
Lyric, are you going to Japan? We got an update on that. I am about 75% positive I'm going.
That's fun. You didn't tell me.
A threat. You say you're gonna what?
You didn't tell
Danny
me. I
asked
couldn't.
you months ago. Do you want to come?
You didn't mean it seriously. You asked me in like a, oh, you know.
Danny, I always.
I didn't know you were
come. Please.
seriously considering.
If,
I think it'd be so
I
much
would
fun.
love for you to come.
I
Well,
think
I
it'd be
would
so
love for you to come.
Let's think about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, well, it's good because you said that the options were Japan or suicide, so I'm glad to hear Japan's back on the table. So,
Yeah. Things were gonna get real dicey if I don't go. I'm telling y'all that right now.
hey yo,
I am not mentally strong enough to stay home. Speaking of speaking of people who are not mentally strong, Hangman Adam
FTR.
Page.
Oh, different reasons.
Unfortunately, I think they're a little too mentally strong. They are very settled in their ways, unfortunately. But Hangman versus Hobbs was so good.
No, it was phenomenal, and it's gonna go like less talked about, obviously, because it was sandwiched between two blood and guts matches. This match was great, and if y'all go back and watch it, yeah, y'all go back and watch it, you will think the same way. Like I said, I think it's just hard because Yeah, you just had one very good Blood and Guts. You're anticipating another one, but this match was incredible, and Hobbs was ragdoll in that motherfucker. And like,
Bro,
yes,
Hangman got his
you
back blown out, not the fun kind.
he got his back blown out, and everybody else while everybody else was getting their guts rearranged. It was that kind of night, and I tweeted
Ugh.
about it. But what I really loved about tonight in particular, Blood and Guts as a concept, yes, but tonight having two Blood and Guts and one Falls Count Anywhere, like tonight was for the sick fucks. Like if this is not Blood and Guts and a night like tonight in particular, it is not for the quote unquote casual viewer. It is not for people who are just tuning in trying to see some shit. Cat This is for me. This is for the
I don't know if
bloodthirsty.
you saw it, but there was a guy who climbed up on the ramp and was trying to jump too, and security had to literally tackle him like when before Hobbs went flying off that ledge. I don't know if y'all saw it on screen, but like, bro, it was like, what are you doing trying to record? I'm just like, you're gonna die. Do you know that? Then you gotta think when Hobbs fell through that box, the lights literally legit started flickering in the arena.
Oh, we didn't know that. It
Like,
just it looked like it was just flickering under the box. We didn't know all that.
Bro, Hangman's eyes changed. Like it was just like,
Yes,
oh,
that
I
was
said,
that
whoa.
was a great shot on TV.
I said, whoa, he's letting the demon out. We bringing.
I said, hey man, don't take that drink. We talked about this.
We bringing them gold chains back.
Hobbs almost broke his
swinging
ass.
that flag. We waving that flag.
He almost lost his booty. Yes, tonight was the most pay-per-view type of show they put on TV. It honestly was. And like I feel like they say that a lot. Although tonight was a free pay-per-view. Tonight was like I would have paid off for that. Now I'm not gonna tell them that because then they'll charge me next time. But no, I would have paid for that one. Absolutely. Maybe not a full 60 because it wasn't that long, but I would have paid $20 for that.
And apparently WWE has War Games coming up. Just cancel it. I don't. I said this. If your double ring steel cage match doesn't have any blood, that is not a hardcore match. That is a Hasbro playpen. That is the equivalent of me going on my laptop, going on the Google, typing in, can I get a little play set to put my action figures in? And making them la 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 dance around the playpen.
And
again and again and again.
I don't usually have a lot of people. Like I feel like Blackwell Wrestling in particular, like we've reached our target audience very well. There are very rarely opportunities where people are like, oh, you people like this sick shit? Because everybody that follows this account, yes, we do. We really do. There's a bunch of people tonight like, oh, this is for you sick people. This is for whatever. Yes! I want everybody especially buckets. Set that thing on fire. I don't know what the limits are. I don't know what the limits are of what you can do, like in terms of torture on national television. But that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Let's get creative. And that's what I think I really enjoyed about the women's match versus the men's match until the end. There was no creativity in the men's match until the finish. Like, we were just waiting for versus the women's match was bell to bell. Well, before the
and then it's like, oh, gay kid. Ooh, sure. Oh my God. But I think the thing is too, what people don't realize is that guess what? A lot of us, we get our monthly sicko fix from AEW, and we haven't gotten in there in a while because at Wrestle Dream, they couldn't bleed, because in St. Louis, and I think
got it back.
So we needed it back in blood, literally.
I have a genuine bloodlust, and I'm glad that AEW can sell it because otherwise, I don't know what I'd have to do.
I would not be watching American wrestling right now. I'll tell you that.
No. No. Yeah, exactly. How could you all like blood this much? It's disgusting. Grow up!
I will say. And then it's just like Gabe has done nothing to warrant, like, I want to genuinely ask the bookers of both AEW and New Japan, what do you want us to think about Gabe? Like the way that things are. What is
What
the
are we
desired
supposed- in
reaction?
your in your ideal
What's-
situation? What would I
What
think
is
about
the
Gabe?
what is the desired reaction? I don't get it. Like nothing he's
You know
done
what I
has made
fear?
him feel like somebody we should look like as a serious threat. You know, all of his aura, anything that he gained
He's a
earlier this year for New
joke.
Japan, he lost. He squandered it. I just don't know what's
He's
happening.
nowhere and everywhere at the same time, and he's doing everything and nothing at the same time. And I have a real fear. I know everybody's like, "Oh, Claudio finna kill Mox." I have a real fear they're gonna have Gabe Kidd do it.
Ew.
But you think about it, you're like, why else is he back? Why else is he here? And does it make more sense for it to be Claudio? Absolutely. Would that be more baller? Absolutely. Who needs it more now? Gabe Kidd.
Insufficient funds.
Rebuke. You guys are funny. I agree with you. I'm just saying, if you prepare for the worst and then hope for the best, then maybe that's the situation you'll be in. Don't be surprised by that.
It's not like Gabe can come to Full Gear. He's in World Tag League.
Well,
he's teaming with Yota Tsuji.
So that's why I'm like, so why are you here today? Why are you here today?
I think that's my argument, though. It's just that's the thing about Gabe. They don't make him seem like, oh, he's just this big killer. We just call him when we need an extra set of hands. Exactly. And it's just like, why would I expect you? You mean to tell me you top player? You was holding New Japan's second top title a month ago?
But also, he still doesn't fuck with AEW.
I'm a madman, bro.
I'm a madman, bro. I'm a madman, bro.
Bring Will Ospreay back. Can we get Will Ospreay back, please?
Man, you know what? I will say, tonight was the night I was like, because look, whenever they mention Kenny Omega glazing section, Kenny Omega, we love you, we miss you. But the Kenny mentioned when they were like, oh my god, he'll be back next week. I was like,
Danny, you should have heard the crowd. So many people started groaning when Don Callis said, yeah, Kenny will be back next week. People said, oh, I wanted to see him now.
I want the Michael Jordan intro too, y'all.
There are so many people. So many girls brought Kenny Omega signs, North Carolina signs. Like, yeah, like it was so hurt.
Even when I know Kenny's not gonna be there, I still have half a brain to be like, but what if?
Real yearners.
Exactly. The same way whenever Kenny was getting beat up for the first 4 years of AEW, I'd be like, well, Ibushi could be here. You just don't know. But anyway, Kenny Omega glazing section. So I got my Kenny fix by them telling me when Kenny would be back. Love you, miss you. See you next week. I was watching this and I saw that steel cage come down and it reminded me of Fletcher Ospreay. And I was like, damn, I miss the Billy Goat. He would be great in this right now.
Well, Ospreay would have literally never actually got in the cage because he would have been committed to staying on top of it.
Yes.
He would have literally climbed every mountain. He would have bladed in front of the camera just so he could feel blood on his face before getting started.
Just so he would have put his face on the cage as he was climbing up to leave a trail of blood all the way up there.
For fun.
You want to talk about freaks?
I will say, not having Ospreay, Swerve, and Hangman in the cage match, it was felt like it was just like
it was.
They did more star power.
It definitely was, especially when you put it against the women's, which had all the heavy hitters. You know, it was the top stars in the women's division that were there,
all the top stars are,
yeah, you know, and again, I said I was struggling in the build up to Blood and Guts because I was like, you know, Blood and Guts to me, like, it's not the same without the Elite. Like, it's not. And I enjoyed the men's match when at the end. I watched the bulk of this match thinking this is boring.
I did. I agree.
Because I was
there.
I was
Several people said that
directly to the women's one. And usually when you have stuff like that, like unfortunately, like the patriarchal default is like you give the advantage in the men to in your head, and so you compare the women to the men. This time I was doing the full opposite. I was watching the first 15 minutes of men's blood and guts match, and I was like, there was so much happening in the women's blood and guts match in the first 15
In the
minutes.
middle of the
This is
match,
giving me nothing.
in the middle of the match, somebody in the crowd chanted, "Bring the women back out."
No good.
That literally happened. Like that.
Also, guys, we've come so far. We've come so far.
I think also too, just like Darby and Mox have been fighting so long. Like y'all done so much of the stuff. We did Anarchy in the Arena. We did, we did the I Quit match. We did a coffin match. Enough. Die already. Die.
You know what? I was genuinely watching the women's blood and guts match, and I was like, the only way that they're actually going to top the women's blood and guts match is if Darby Allin like dies.
Set him on fire again.
And you know what? That's what they did. To their credit, they hung him, and then they threw him off the thing onto a flaming table. And I gotta say, you got me. You popped me.
Yeah.
But it's I guess that was the one reliable thing is like if you know that there's not gonna be anything, and maybe this is not a great habit to get into, but if you know there's not gonna be anything else in this match, I was like, well, I know Darby gonna do something crazy. Like
I will say though, shout out to Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly FC. Everybody stand the fuck up. Okay.
Kyle O'Reilly, come get your baddie chain. That was crazy.
Batty shot a clock. And I knew you had it in you, girl. I knew you had it in you. And
you know what? People have been saying this, but it does feel like Kyle O'Reilly has been kind of like they're positioning him to be like, I don't want to say like a main event talent, but he's an upper mid card.
He's moving up.
Yeah, he's moving up for sure. And I'm here, him and Roddy. I will say, unfortunately, no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. No.
Okay. All right. I'll have you hold on to that.
I'm not gonna say that, but Kyle
O'Reilly FC, I will say, yeah, I've always been a huge Kyle O'Reilly girl, and when he was injured and I didn't look like he was coming back, I felt that devastatingly so. And when he came back and everybody was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with Kyle O'Reilly?" I was like, "I see the vision. I saw the fucking vision." So I want to give myself credit for that. One, and two, say that you know what, you were never exiting my client list. I know where we stand, girl. I know where we stand. You stay right with me because I got big plans for you. You and Roddy. But yeah, no, we not getting bitched no more. And you know what? Matter of fact, Paragon's a shit name. We gotta change the name. I've been saying it, but now since we actually gonna take you serious, need a new name. We need a new name.
You know, also, I want to give a shout out to somebody, Marina Shafir.
Sure.
She came into that match as a killer. Like, people...
No, she looked insane. She
looked like she bite people. Like,
she looked like she killed
real people. Motion. They made her look like a real honest-to-God killer. Which just really proves like how much she's improved over the months. I'm interested to see, and I will say, you know what? I will say, going back to the women's blood match, because like honestly, that's really mostly the only thing aside from like Hangman and Hobbs we're talking about.
Only three matches.
They reignited my interest in the tag tournament tonight. Like, the tag tournament feels a lot more interesting coming out of that match. And I think like they had lost me a bit, but I'm actually really interested to see like what happens in the rest of these matches.
I think we just should have started the tag tournament after Blood and Guts.
I agree, but you know they had to hurry up and get Mercedes out of it because you know if you did the final at Full Gear, she wasn't gonna be able to be in it.
That's not my problem. I'm not a booker. They would have had to get creative. But I just mean, I think it played into what I was saying, like about like the stop and start of the women's division. It's like, okay, yes, it makes sense for all of these things to be happening, but for all of them to be happening at the same time can sometimes be a bit much. Like, so I would have preferred for us to just have done if we were gonna spend all this time building the blood and guts, because Jamie Hayter said it a while ago, women's blood and guts. If we were gonna spend this whole time dedicated to blood and guts, I think we should have dedicated it just to the build of blood and guts. And then coming off of this and saying, wow, all these different things happened in blood and guts, then we're announcing the tag tournament. Because the thing is, right? You waited this long for these tag belts. Why can't we wait till World's End? Like, in order to do something that makes sense and is well thought out. Like,
That's a good point in the
you
comments.
sat on them. You're
they
on
didn't
your own
wanna-
self-imposed timeline.
They didn't want to run the women's tag tournament during the C2 season. I can see that.
And I understand that, but at the same time, right? Like, what are you gonna have for the women's division? Because if you're not gonna have a women's C2, like, you know,
I agree.
why wouldn't you want your whole show to be more enjoyable top to bottom? Hello?
I think especially and just like, unfortunately, we've reached that point to where like, bro, and like the roster is deep, yes, but like the depth isn't being used in the main event scene per se. These gaps are starting to show as far as like you know, Swerve out, Ospreay out, Kenny's on part time. Even MJF to a certain extent of just like there's so many people out right now and it's showing, bro. And the thing is, bro, Dita, like, you know, so many other people like they're doing other things. So like, you know, Takeshita is working Okada right now.
Yep. So he's not here all the time. Yep.
And Takeshita, you know,
Takeshita. Yeah, Takeshita with his New Japan commitments, so he's not here all of the time. I definitely agree that there is a lack of main event star power right now in the men's division, and I don't really know how you fix it besides deciding that you have a new couple of top guys.
You gotta take some belts off some people. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, Bandito, I love him bad. He needs right now. They need him. You need him in singles competition.
Correct. And I think also Kyle Fletcher's probably gonna lose the TNT title too. So it's just like, which is fine. Which is fine with me at this point. Like honestly, that.
But it shouldn't be to Mark Briscoe.
I mean, that's just where we are at this point. I just think at this point, yeah, we need some more guys.
Yeah, we got to make a couple calls. We got to make a couple people move up.
After what we saw tonight, Hobbs is a guy.
Yeah.
Who I think after like who should be getting a push. Like you know, there are people like you know, like I said, the roster is still very deep. It's just where is the depth being used,
and where and where's the investment going to go? So, because it can't be that everybody gets a micro push. It's got to be, you know, a couple of people, because there are a couple of open spots that, you know, there's got to be a couple people that get that elevation. And yes, other people can get moved up a little bit. But we got to make some promotion. Some promotion. Lyric, if you had to make 3 promotions tonight, who would you make?
Hobbs. Easily. Who else? I'm trying to think of a heel. Who is a good heel? I'd say Ricochet.
Yep.
Hangman hasn't worked him yet. And who else? Bandito.
Yep.
Bandito, yeah.
I agree. For one.
I'd say, yeah.
Contrarian to say.
Because I can't say, like, it's not that Takeshita is like a huge star right now. He's just not in the world title picture, but it doesn't feel like it's still not small. It still feels like when him and Okada got going on, it feels like a world title program. I think that's why it was so noticeable. That's why it was so noticeable last week when they didn't do anything. Dynamite was so boring without Kyle O'Reilly is a good person. I mean, absolutely. And Roddy, like, I'm not gonna lie, they really big. I don't know if
they've been on one.
Extra motivated, but man, they are going
I think that they're the kind of people, and especially with so much experience in the business, like I think they smell blood in the water. The same way that we're saying it, like there's opportunity. I think, you know, that they sense that, see it, smell it. But yeah.
I mean, Roddy
Uh,
was excellent. I mean, people talk about Roddy being excellent this year. Roddy was excellent last year.
yes.
The Roddy was the mid card in AEW last year. Like he literally held the mid card together with his bare hands last year. Like that international title run, we still talk about you.
We still talk about you. Um, yeah, we need a couple of people to step up to get push. Um, yeah, I got a plan for Jet Speed to get them titles at World's End. Well, yes, they will
Trust.
also. Unfortunately, I don't know how. I'm not a booker. They will also be in the C2, both of them, in my um in my fantasy booking. So not my problem. Put your work boots on,
Well,
girl.
I don't. I still to this day, I do not know what kind of voodoo Tony Khan did to get Roger Strong out of that NXT contract. But man, ever since he got out of there, he broke free of them shackles like a bat out of hell.
I'm all switched out.
I respect it, by the way. But
There is power.
he's he had to. Roddy was watching everybody, all his friends over at AEW running around la la. He said, "Not without me."
And you know what? I gotta be honest. Like that is AEW's strongest marketing pitch. Truly, is
All your friends are there.
you having your seeing your friends and seeing them look like one. They're having a really fun time, and they're getting pushes that you'll never get here. That's AEW's strongest pitch. For as much as they might be like, "Oh, we can pay you like whatever," it's like how many people has that worked on already? Where you're just like, "Well, my friends work here," and I don't know.
I think that was also the thing too.
AEW, the power of friendship is what holds this promotion together.
And you got to think a lot of people they recruited like the king, the undisputed era as a unit, and so like when WWE figured out like that, man, we can't keep Adam Cole. They was like,
Well, who do you
really?
think's coming next?
They said we don't get, we can't keep Cole and O'Reilly. Oh yeah, sorry, Roddy, we ain't got nothing for you.
Nothing.
And we don't have anything for you. Good luck. They said fine. I mean, the same thing about
Fine.
AEW.
Damn.
AEW did the same thing. Essentially, they said Adam Cole will sign you and all your friends if you come here right now.
Yep.
They did the same thing for Ospreay. We will sign all your friends like right now.
For better or for worse.
Hey man, it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
That love, like people like, well, Ospreay love coming to work every day and seeing his best friends. Like that just, oh my God.
Hey, you can't blame him.
He'll put 10 more years on the contract and stuff like that. And
absolutely.
His best friends and his lady.
Like, what else you need? You making so much money. What else you need, girl?
You know, that's what I said, bro.
Trying to get like
you know all that discourse was happening about like Wrestle Queendom. People are like, oh my God, what's up, Ospreay on Brandon? Chill. Get people. Listen, y'all. He get people contracts. When he said, "Hey, my world, let me talk to you," I said, "Billy Goat, good."
I said, "Good." Answer the phone, Maya. Answer the phone.
Pick it up. Pick up the phone. I said, "Oh yeah."
Blood and Guts, good. Blood and Girls, even better.
Blood and Girls, great.
Blood and Girls, fantastic, phenomenal. Annual.
Hangman is Hangman's not taking his meds again. Yay.
Hangman Shibata next week. Oh my God.
That's so lyric.
I need to be alone with this match. I feel wined and dined.
Having this match without me is nasty. But
without me?
Without me? Come on.
Hangman Shibata, do you guys need a third? I've been so like I've been telling people I want this match so bad. And as soon as we said we were gonna run Hangman Joe, I've been campaigning for it. It's just been a matter of time, but oh my God, you guys don't get it. This one's for me. But Yeah, and Kenny Holm.
That's how they really ensured my attendance for next week. I ain't gonna lie.
I simply will be there.
Y'all said
They
Kenneth's
gotta
coming.
sell a vibrating chair with that match is crazy. Um, you guys are so funny. I thought I was bad. You guys are funny. But Lyric, do you have anything to promote? I guess it's kind of the end. There were only 3 matches.
Um, no. If you weren't weird about the PWI Women's 250 this week, thank you. If you were weird about it, go fuck yourself.
Nobody on our stream is gonna be weird about it. We have cool people.
That is true.
Um,
Really awesome people, but yeah, that's all.
I would say, guys, go to Black Girl Wrestling right now. And put your hand in the cash register. That money is yours now. No, go to Black Girl Wrestling right now. And go watch the interview. I guess I did with Kevin Knight.
Oh my god, please do. That is the funniest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I thought it was very funny. So make sure you go watch it. Black Girl Wrestling. And guys, please let me know who else you should bother to be on the show, because so far it's working. So just let me know who else you would. Danny's on the
Many are
Rob
saying
list now.
this.
Why? I didn't know
Many are saying this.
But yeah, guys. What else was I gonna say? I don't know if I have any parting words of wisdom. Do you have anything else, Eric?
I think that's all.
Okay, well, we will see you again next week. Please come back. If that one person who said it was their first time, please come back. Please don't be deterred. I promise next week will be worse.
We'll be more normal. Oh, I was gonna say we were gonna be better, but sure.
Well, more normal is worse.
You know. I digress.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.